Hey guys, so today's video is going to be, I guess, the start of a series of something very simple. I'm just going to be doing top 5 videos. So top 5, today's video is obviously about eyeshadow palettes, but top 5 highlighters, top 5 blushes, top 5 mascaras, and so on and so forth. So hopefully you guys like this. I stuck to a top 5, so it will be sorry, Sophie's here. A relatively quick video, and then something you guys can reference if you would like to as well, and not have to sit through a lot of rambling. This is the first video, okay, so this hopefully is the exception. I hope you guys like this. Feel free to recommend categories in the comments below. I asked you guys on Instagram. You guys gave me a lot of good ideas there as well. Also, something to note, I lost my eyelash glue, so if these start to come off at some point in the video, they're just hanging on by whatever they are hanging on by. You guys, I'm really rusty. I haven't filmed in like a month, so forgive me. Let's start. Okay, so my first palette I'm going to talk about is the one that I'm actually wearing all on my eyes today, and it's the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. They did send this to me, by the way. This is the only one of all 5 that was sent to me in PR, but I think this is such a well-rounded palette. It has such a good variety of colors in here, and it has a really large mirror, which is really nice if you're traveling especially. And it's also compact, like it's not a super thick or bulky palette either. It is a bit wider, but it does have a wider selection of colors as well. I just think this is a great palette for a lot of different occasions. You can do a very soft, like day look if that's what your vibe is, but you can also absolutely get it smoky. There are cool tones and warm tones in this palette. Just overall, it kind of touches on all bases. This is, as I said, what I'm wearing on my eyes today. I have Stranded on the lid. I have these 3 going on in the crease main lid area. I've got Punk and Jet in the outer corner. I have Breakaway in the inner corners. I did a little bit of Still Shot to blend, and Weekender. I did use both of those to blend. I just think this is a really great palette. The only thing is I wish it had a matte highlight color, but beyond that, it has everything. So it's a really great palette, and I highly, highly recommend Born to Run. So on the opposite side of that very large palette, I have a very small palette, and this is one of my absolute favorites. This is the Tarteist Pro To Go, and I just love this little guy. There's 6 shades in here. I think just looking at this palette, you guys already know this is something that would appeal to me. It has the perfect gold lid shade right there that I love, and I wish was in like every Tarte palette. It also has a nice gradient of crease colors and blending colors that you can use, as well as these 2. What are these called? These are a different type of shadow. Are these the Tarteist shadows? Art something? I don't know. But these 2 metallic shades are really awesome. I like to use those on the lower lash line. But this is a great palette for travel. It's one of my go-tos, and I just thoroughly enjoy every single color in here. I think it just covers everything that you would need, except again, I would hope for like a matte highlight color, but that's something that I can easily tack on with something else that I have. But just love this little guy. Packs a lot of punch for such a small little palette. The next palette is from Juvia's Place, which used to only be online, but now I believe they're sold at Ulta, which is really cool for them. This is the Masquerade palette. This is the mini version of it. There is an even bigger one, but honestly, if you're not going to be using this palette like every day, then I don't see the need to get the like giant one. But here's the mini, and these are like standard sized eyeshadows, so I think this is kind of the perfect size. Plus, if you want to travel with it, this is just the better buy in general. Obviously, there are some really nice, warm, everyday type colors down at the bottom here, but it's the top 2 rows of the colorful shades that I really love this palette for, because when I want to do a colorful look where I for sure want the colors to pop, like not something that you have to build up for like 10 years, these colors I know for sure will do it for me. So I love these top 2 rows here. These are really nice as well, don't get me wrong. This is a product that's made for people with a lot more pigment in their skin. It obviously can work for anyone, but these are almost a bit too rich and dark for me sometimes. So when it comes to neutrals, I tend to kind of venture elsewhere, but I do love the quality of these shadows. They're so rich in pigment, but also the feel of them, they're so creamy and emollient to the point where you're like, there must be some type of liquid in here, like what is happening? They feel really nice and they're super pigmented. They go on the lid really beautifully, so I have to just This is a great palette. Sophie, you're so loud. She's like, I'm just trying to breathe, Mom, my bad. Okay, palette number 4 is kind of a cop-out because I had to pick 2. It's a tie because it's the same brand and like the same palettes kind of, so like, you'll see. They're the Tartelette palettes. I have Tartelette in Bloom and Tartelette Toasted. I could not pick between these two, and I will tell you why. So, Tartelette in Bloom, if you had asked me like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, when did I get this palette, what my favorite eyeshadow palette was, when I got this, oh, absolutely, this became my favorite palette. The only thing, and I've said this a lot before, that this palette is missing for me is like a gold lid shade. That's all I want from an eyeshadow palette, is just like a gold lid shade. If they had put the gold from the Pro To Go palette in this palette, then it would have been like perfect, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. This palette is just fantastic. I mean, it gets good reviews for a good reason. It's just such a great neutral palette to have. I will say, I don't think I've ever touched these two like cooler taupey shades up here, Jet Setter and Rocker. Like, I don't think I've ever used them. The other ones I have all used several times. I actually love the fact that there are 3 dark tones down here, even though like it might seem a little redundant. I'm like, no, but this one's a little bit darker and cooler, and this one's like a little bit more neutral, and this one's warmer and not as rich as the other ones. But I appreciate that. But I really, really love this palette, and there was no way I couldn't mention it. But Tartelette Toasted. Now, when I first got this, I had such high expectations. Like, I was like, this is gonna be my favorite palette. I am positive. There's no way this is gonna let me down. And then I got it, and I used it, and I was like, I mean, it's alright. So now you're probably like, Katie, why is it in your top 5 eyeshadow palette video? Well, after several months of it sitting there being a disappointment to my life, I pulled it back out and was suddenly, I don't know, it was like, wait a minute, I do like you. And I do like this palette. I really, really do like it. I don't really know. I was being like a snob or something. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it was just a bad time in my eyeshadow life. But obviously this is a palette of warm tones, and I love it, and the quality is great. Again, I wish it had that perfect gold lid shade, because see, here's the thing. The color Sunset is a little too dark for my liking. I would have wished, like, instead of Candle, which is like a shimmery inner corner color, which don't get me wrong is fine, I wish they'd put a gold shade right there, like a light gold, like from the Tarteist Pro To Go. I see, this is why I said I wasn't gonna ramble, but anyway, these two palettes are fantastic. I really love the Tartelette formula, and so I love these, and I could not pick just one. They're a true tie, so there's that. Okay, last but certainly not least, I left this one for last because it's probably my favorite of all of my eyeshadow palettes. So this is from Alamar Cosmetics. This is an indie brand. Kathleens Friend, Gabby, I believe, is the one who owns this brand. And I love this palette, and I hate having to pronounce it because I will butcher it. So we're just gonna drink some coffee. Oh, I know this is a plastic straw, but I just ordered some stainless steel ones, so don't worry, they're coming. Reina del Caribe. Now, I took Spanish for like 10 million years, all the way through college, but can I speak Spanish? No. Can I read it and write it very well? Could I be a Spanish grammar teacher? Yeah. Can I speak it? Not a wink. So this is volume 1. I don't have volume 2 actually. Oh, you know what? I said that the other one was the only one I got in PR. Technically, I got this in PR too, from a BoxyCharm. But if this palette got destroyed somehow, like, I don't know, my dog decided it was her new toy. She doesn't play with toys, she's blind. I would buy another one, absolutely, in a heartbeat. I'd be like, yes, that's for me. If you have not seen this palette, here is what it looks like. I just love everything in here. And that's very rare, I feel like, to love every single shade in a palette. And it's always so satisfying when you do, because it's so rare, at least for me. Maybe I'm picky, whatever. I love this metallic like light green shade because what other palettes have a metallic light green shade? It's fantastic. I love these guys as well. This is a great inner corner color, but actually I kind of like to use this one for that purpose. And these warm mattes down here are fantastic as well. Just overall, you can create such beautiful looks with this palette, and I know it's not like maybe an everyday palette for a lot of people, but when I want to wear eyeshadow and I want something that's going to make me happy, like this palette is what I'm going to grab because I just truly love everything in here. And I will grab other shadows when I use this palette as well, but I just love this so much. Like I really, really do. So if you guys haven't tried this palette yet, I highly, highly recommend it because it is my #1 favorite. And that is it for this video. I know it was a little bit longer than I initially planned, but this is the first one. Get the kinks all out of the system, you know? Ooh, that could be taken a weird way. It's nice to be back. As I said in the beginning, if you guys have any category recommendations for this top 5 series, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I think the next one might be highlight. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm trying to still plan out which order I want to go in, but that's that. Before I leave, I wanted to ask you guys if you would like to see my videos show up in your feeds. Please do click the bell to sign up for notifications if you have not already. And if you have already and you're not getting my videos still, which I have gotten comments and messages about that, if you click the bell, you can see that there's like an option for like all notifications or some, or I don't know how they word it. I know. Why do they do this to us? I know. Feel your pain. So if you do want to see my videos, you have to click it for all notifications. So YouTube. I know, Sophie, isn't it so annoying? Okay, that's really all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!